Welcome to the 7th episode of the Art DINER podcast. Let's grab a coffee and chat about the recent happenings in the art industry. Today we have a lot of exciting things to talk about, including a quick recap of last week's episode with Rita. If you haven't yet checked it out, be sure to do so, since she shared so much great tips on starting to sell your art at conventions and the artist alleys. We will also answer some follower questions from my Instagram, talk about a recent controversy regarding a Dungeons & Dragons book cover illustration, and stay till the end for an announcement about some new exciting changes on Instagram. But first, the word from our sponsor. The mentorship program that I've been doing is now accepting applications for winter season 2023. We currently offer 2 types of programs. If you're someone who is starting out or someone who feels like they aren't yet ready to take a big illustration project, we offer a one-on-one fundamental sessions. And if you're someone looking to make a banger portfolio piece and expand your knowledge on thumbnailing, storytelling, rendering, and many more subjects, we offer a one-on-one illustration-based program. Every week we do a private 2-hour call as I feedback and support you through the task given, share any tips, and chat about the industry. And every mentorship comes with a portfolio review at the start as well. So head over to ivetto.net/learn to book your spot. Limited spot availability, so don't wait too long. The link is, of course, going to be in the description below, like always. And I think it's time to get into our first segment. Hey everyone, glad to be chatting with you guys again. Last week we had a banger episode with Rita, aka Dark Tarot, who took us through a learning journey of how to create our own art merchandise shop. So if you haven't still listened, I encourage you to give it a go. I like that this type of content you can listen to whenever you're working or doing like chores or maybe driving somewhere. I personally listen a lot to many other creators while I work or tidy up the house, and I don't need to stop everything. I can listen or watch the video and do the task. Last week's episode was also something that I would love to do more. That is, bring on really interesting people with different skill sets to talk about their experiences. I want to bring attention to Lithuanian artists as well and try to interview them too, since I am from this small European country myself, if you didn't know this. In my opinion, we have many really professional artists out here with a lot to say, but sometimes maybe there's not that many platforms locally to reach the audience. So hopefully here in the Art Diner, we can at least a little bit change that and bring the light on what this small art community has to offer too. Speaking about communities, I got some questions on my Instagram from you guys that I'll go over right now. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, be sure to do so, since that's where I post all of the news and updates and even sneak peeks of behind the scenes in real life. So much more exciting stuff is also coming that I can't share with you guys yet, but I've been working hard and I hope it all goes well. So find me on P_ivetto at Instagram. The link will be in the description below. Let's start with the questions. So for the first one, a follower asked, can you give me tips on balancing a lot of different colors in your scene for values? This is a really good question, as we all know a color can translate into a value, that is a tone in a scale from white to black. Many various colors translate differently. Some are lighter, some are darker, and oftentimes we forget that saturation of that color tone is also a thing, and we get surprised that in value it doesn't translate very well. For example, we can pick a red, which usually translates to dark value compared to the other colors on the color wheel. And let's pick a really saturated blue. Those colors, when translated to values, will look kind of the same, meaning that it won't create a lot of visual noise in terms of value contrast and like variation, since all of the tones are going to be the same or similar. And when in color, it's going to be completely different looking in saturation and in hue. To check your values in Photoshop, you can use Ctrl+Y shortcut and set the proof setup view to custom, more specifically dot grain. Let me know if you want a tutorial for this. Hope that answers your question though. It's a lengthy answer, but if it's still unclear, I can make a short video showing the process as well. Next question on the list is, do you have any tips for getting clients? I think the main points that would get you clients is a strong portfolio, social skills, both in real life for the interview and online when talking to the art community. Sometimes you even get clients from friends that you made in the community. If they're too busy, they might pass on a project to you. I used to think that never happens in Lithuania, but I had a really kind artist pass me a project which I actually really enjoyed the making and working on later. To make your portfolio a strong one is a whole other topic, a really broad and personalized one. I do talk a lot about portfolio making steps and tips on getting hired in my mentorship program, since this process is so specific to each individual artist's case. It's also beneficial to always get a portfolio review for this from cool artists that you aspire to. But let me know if you want me to talk more about the client topic in the future. Moving on, the next question is, what was your experience studying at VDA? So for those who are listening, not from Lithuania, VDA is short for Vilnius Academy of Arts, or VAA in English. It's the only art school here locally, and in some cases, really old school. There are more and more people interested in working in the digital sphere, or at least going between traditional and digital drawing daily. And my personal experience wasn't bad, but I do have to say that I thought it would be a course on digital painting, but there wasn't really any. A course on speed paint was just us painting every day, and all the feedback I got from the professor was that I am too good and he cannot give me any feedback. And yeah, for this reason, once I got the opportunity to teach there, I was teaching digital painting fundamentals for students who later told me that they really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it too, but nowadays I'm more comfortable teaching mentorship as a one-on-one program, since I do feel like this method of teaching helps the student learn way faster if they are, of course, eager to learn and do their task. Overall, I can say that if you absolutely need a bachelor's diploma for some reason, for any reason, you can apply. But if you want to get skills, I would consider investing in a mentorship course with someone. I hope that answers the question. And the last question, what was the last song you listened to? I am currently on my non-listening to music while working mood. But I just looked at my Spotify and it said Icky by Card. I think that's a new release from them. Of course, it had to be K-pop. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for leaving these questions. And if you want me to answer some other ones, you can leave a comment down below or answer on my Instagram stories. This next segment that we have today is more of a serious one. Recently, a Dungeons & Dragons book was announced with the cover that seemingly is an AI-generated image. Ooh. I was extremely surprised also, just as other fans as well of the franchise, since it doesn't even look polished or finished. It looks like a sketch. And I know how hard it is to get a job with someone as big as Wizards of the Coast, the company behind Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering. It is an extremely high competition sphere where not everyone can get in, and those who do need to show really strong painting skills. I had worked on their Dungeons & Dragons franchise before, but not for a book cover. It was for a trailer that we painted in a company that I used to work at. It's a really high production product, in my opinion. They even got Benedict Cumberbatch to narrate the story for the trailer. So seeing this AI generate cover on one of their books seems to me like the bar really dropped extremely low. Now, apparently, Wizards of the Coast issued a statement that they had updated their artist guidelines to clarify that AI must not be used by artists, which I am happy about, but how did it even come to be in the first place? Like, making a cover is a process of many feedback back and forth. So I'm confused. No one was like, wait, is this AI generated? The artist who made these states that they had only used AI to generate certain details and polish, but it is hard to believe as the image is hardly polished at all. Well, it doesn't look like it at least. It's something that in a high production environment would never slip through. These data sets are unethical and frankly stolen. Many artists have criticized Wizards of the Coast openly, and hopefully like this pushback is what made them create the specific note in the artist guidelines, which should have been added a long time ago, in my humble opinion. But at least it is there now, you know? On a less serious note, we have some exciting news for social media artists. You might have noticed that Instagram recently added subscriptions for their creators. Have you noticed that? I only saw so far one of my people who I follow opened up their subscriptions and announced them. So it's probably quite recent and it's only catching up now. Similar how it works on YouTube or Twitch, you can now subscribe to the Instagram creator of your choice and receive some exclusive content. The subscription costs €5.50 a month and you can cancel anytime. Upon subscribing, you receive a subscribers badge, exclusive content posted only to the subscribers, like stories or posts, reels, and live videos, even. You also get access to a subscriber social channel where you can interact with the creator and a subscriber broadcast channel where the creator can send messages like announcements to their subscribers. Thinking about this, it is Instagram, so probably not safe for work content shouldn't find its way into subscribers only content like it does on another subscriber based platform, Patreon. I don't know how it will affect the growth of the subscriber base. I think this is a great opportunity for creators, though, to earn from the hard work they had put into their craft here on Instagram, as it is not easy keeping up with trends and posting regularly. Doing this for a long time to build up communities must have been so tiring, and therefore I am really glad that there's something like a support system now for them. I think it's only exclusive for people who have big communities or maybe someone in America. Because, for example, for me, when I'm in Lithuania, some regions do not have certain things here. We don't even have access to Threads yet. And yeah, will you be subscribing to any creators yourself, guys? Do you have anyone in mind? Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested about this new thing and I'm excited to see like where it goes. And yeah, that wraps up our episode for this week. And guys, if you have any topic suggestions or ideas, please share in the comments below. Drop a like on the video since it helps us reach more listeners. Thank you for sticking out until the end, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.